Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Dairoku.
Hi, Bird. What you doing? I know. No, not microphone for you. No, stop it.
He just flew over to me as soon as I started talking. Anyway, we're in chapter 4, which is Shiratsuki's route. Woohoo! So we made it, and now we're in the little subsection Koya. So, you know, our whatever, familiar, whatever he is. I don't know. Our angry cat. Anyway, I'm beat. Sure, I was getting used to things here, but I was pretty tired regardless at the end of the day. I face planted right into the cozy sofa.
Master, that is not your bed.
I don't remember the voice we gave the cat, but... Koya, he never appeared unless absolutely necessary, but for some reason he showed himself in here. It was quite unfortunate for me, really.
You should take a bath before you sleep. A warm bath can revitalize your body.
I didn't know where he got his information, but lately he'd been very picky about what I did. Wait, don't bite me, you're not nice. I'm too tired to draw a bath.
You're going to sleep without washing yourself? That's not what I'd expect from a young lady.
Koya, you sound like my mom.
Master, I simply worry for you.
You don't need to. Okay, I'll bathe and even have dinner later. Just let me rest a little bit. I know, but like you draw a bath and you just lay in it and you're like, Yeah.
Good. That's good. Good. I'm sorry for nagging you.
He hopped up onto the sofa and found a good spot to cuddle up next to me. How cute. Pat's angry kitty on head. He is like such an angry kitty. He'd be a lot cuter if he was always this quiet. I finished my dinner and got the bath ready. I looked over the event documents in the meantime. Thank goodness.
What is it, Master?
Oh, sorry. It's just the event stuff. I'm so grateful that Shiratsuki and all of the other Ayakashi are helping out to prepare for the big event. I feel like if everyone pitches in like this, we could pretty much accomplish anything.
It is good to know they rely on you, Master.
That's very true. I just hope it all goes well. We haven't run into any problems so far, so that's a pretty good sign. But I can't get Shiratsuki out of my head. I know, right? She's like, but I can't get Shiratsuki out of my head. That's probably not what she means, but still. I still can't wrap my head around why the others weren't able to work with him very well. He seems so kind and helpful.
Something on your mind, Master?
Oh, it's Shiratsuki. I know I'm still new, but I realize that I don't know very much about him. A few things stood out from our first meeting. He looks and talks like he cares, and he's very easy to associate with. I wonder why the event doesn't go well when he's involved. I guess his smile does seem a bit forced in a way, like he's trying to hide something. I wonder what I should do.
Shouldn't you learn more about him?
His words cleared my muddled mind.
Be honest with yourself and take action.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I should just learn more about him. I can't believe I didn't think to take that step. Maybe I was trying to be too polite by not getting myself involved. Thank you, Koya. I'm sure I'd be able to handle anything that comes my way if I learn more about him. Since I'm working with Shiratsuki for the event, I'll use that time to get to know him. I felt a lot better now that Koya gave me such a simple yet effective suggestion. It's funny because it's like all we've ever done in the past, like, however long is talk to Shiratsuki every fucking day. But that's just to get into his route. Doesn't mean we know him. But still, we know him better than everybody else. Stopping a commotion.
Perhaps a fashion contest.
He immediately stated his plan as we began our discussion on what to do for the event. Because, I mean, like, so it's funny because we're like, oh, you know, the Oni suggested playing games, but I don't know what everybody else would suggest. And it's like, but you do, though, because we went around and everybody gave us. And then I was like, well, maybe that was when we made a map choice. But I'm like, but no, we kind of talked to everybody. So, like, I feel like that was just a normal part that would have happened regardless. So, I don't know. Anyway. He immediately stated his plan when we began our discussion on what to do for the event. I think I read that anyway. A fashion contest. Indeed!
Are there no boundaries on what to wear, so as long as they're beautiful and unique enough to compete on stage. And the right prizes should motivate everyone.
Which would mean we'd need to look for someone to judge the contestants. I remember when I visited last time, Coco mentioned that he wanted to do a fashion show. Do you folks like fashion? Okay, so we did. Okay.
Yes, and if you were to ask who the progenitor of fashion is in Sakuratani, it would be me.
Meanwhile, he's basically wearing a jumpsuit with a fucking belt that says vet on it. I mean, it doesn't really, but I swear to God, once you see it, you can't unsee it now. He's over-exaggerating, isn't he? So anyway, I'll put down fashion contest as one of our event suggestions. It looked like Shinotsky had been spending a good deal of time coming up with ideas for the event. Some were actually good, though a good portion of them were basically impossible, but it was okay since we were still just brainstorming.
I know this may sound typical, but I think a sports competition would also be interesting. Everyone would be excited about that.
I like that idea. I feel like preparing for that would be a little easier. If there are prizes, why not hold a karaoke contest where everyone competes to see who sings the best?
Ah, good idea indeed. I'll make people shed tears with my beautiful voice.
You're pretty confident, aren't you? It was good to know that Shinotsky was Shinotsky, kind and helpful as usual. I guess all that happened before is a thing of the past. Shinotsky, thank you.
Now where did that come from?
Oh, it's just that you put a lot of time and effort into coming up with all these ideas, so I wanted to thank you.
No need to thank me. I simply won't let a shoddy job through now that I'm involved.
We continued our discussion, noting down all ideas that came to mind, and found our list now included a kendama sumo competitive walking What? A kendama sumo competitive walking competition. What the actual? Okay, you needed to put in mutation in the gut, but you won't tell me what a kendama sumo competitive walking competition is. What? There's a competitive walking competition. Well, I mean, the competition is competitive. That's just belayed in the word. So, competitive competition. It's a competitive competition. What? No fucking way. Department of Redundancy Department. I used to have that shirt. Anyway, competitive walking. Okay. Sumo competitive walking. Kendama, I don't know what that is, but anyway. Is it a type of sumo? I don't know, but like a sumo competitive walking. Are you dressed up in like the sumo costumes and you're trying to like speed walk to the? Is that because I mean I feel like that would be slightly difficult, but I'm just really confused as to what this entails, and I hope we do this because I need to know now.
What kind of event is this?
I have no idea. This was a quick lesson on how to set our minds straight and not get carried away in discussion. There are so many ideas to choose from. I'm not sure which one to pick. My notepad was scribbled with words. It wasn't going to be easy determining what to go with. Still, this simply proved he was willing to help, and just that thought brought joy to my heart. Thank you for sparing time for me today. I guess this is a different day, because I was like, what the hell? We were just here. We were so confused about that. We must have been drunk when we wrote that competitive competition.
Competitive walking competition. No thanks needed. I'm disappointed we couldn't come to a conclusion, however.
I'm sure it was all for the best. We have a lot of good ideas here.
And that's good to hear. And now then, I shall take my leave.
It was then that Chernotsky's ears twitched. Is there a problem?
I hear noise coming from over yonder.
I listened carefully and heard voices arguing over something. Don't tell me the Ayakashi are fighting. Let's go. I turned to run when suddenly... Not paying attention to where I was going, my foot got caught and I began to fall. Oh, he's going to catch us. We're going to fall into his chest. Oh, no. Okay, well, we don't get a CG of it, but...
How unnerving.
Shinotsky grabs my arm to prevent me from falling. Feeling his firm grip on me made my heart pound. Oh, she falling for him hard all of a sudden, quite literally, because she tripped and fell. But, it's like he grabs your arm to stop you from falling, and you're like, yeah, he touched me, and my heart is racing. Well, that came out of nowhere. I mean, I took a few breaths to calm myself. I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful. She's blushing.
Don't fret. You'll only hurt yourself like that.
I agree, and thank you. In any case, let's hurry. We need to see what's going on.
Unbelievable. Such a prudent worker, aren't you? And do your best not to trip this time.
The arguing sounded like it came from here. Shinotsky would know. He's got fucking fox ears.
I believe that is the source.
Shinotsky pointed to two Ayakashi bickering with each other. Kamaitachi?
What? You say that to my face!
Enenra? Enenra.
I'll say it as many times as you want. You're a stupid blockhead. Damn you!
Stop right there!
Oh, you're the new Ayakashimori.
Please calm down. What's this all about?
It's his fault. He made fun of me. Huh. It's because you were being dumb. How could I not laugh at that?
They don't. I like the funny thing is they have names, but there's no sprites for them. But everyone else is like Ayakashi 1 and Ayakashi 2.
Anyone would laugh if they saw someone slip and fall on a banana peel.
Well, actually, a banana peel.
Indeed. And that is quite funny.
Right, Shiratsky?
But that isn't a good reason for you to make fun and laugh at him.
You heard that!
And same goes for you. And just because someone laughed at you doesn't mean you should be angry to this extent. Why don't you forgive him already?
No, he made a fool of me. I'll never forgive him. Same here. You're stupid for getting so mad over me laughing at you. Hey! You called me stupid again!
Neither will back down. How terribly annoying.
Well, sure, I'd probably laugh unintentionally if I saw someone slip on a banana peel. Well, you're like, it's like, what? I'm just imagining you slipping on a banana peel. It's kind of funny. Like, but it's not funny for the person who slipped. I understand what they're saying, but there's no use in fighting. Why don't you end it here?
What? You're asking me to forgive him too? You'd force me to make up with this bastard?
No, that's not what I'm saying. You don't have to forgive him.
Huh? What are you saying?
Oh.
Like I said, you don't have to forgive him, but you're still causing trouble to those around you, so I'm asking you to stop fighting. I understand what both of you are saying, so I don't think either of you is wrong. Apologizing for the sake of apologizing or forgiving even when you don't want to won't resolve anything.
I don't have to forgive him?
You don't have to, because if you said you forgave him, it'd be a lie, right? Same goes for Enenra, whatever. Even if you apologize, you won't mean it, will you?
Well,
what's the use of apologizing if it means that you're lying to yourself and everyone else? But if you at least stop the fighting, you can calm down and move on. Perhaps you can talk about what happened another time, too. If not, then I can come into the picture.
I must admit, that's an interesting take. And not having to forgive.
Oh, sorry for acting on my own accord there.
And no need to apologize. What you said isn't something I hear often from an Ayakashimori, so color me surprised.
We're just surprising you left and right. Just wait, baby. Hey. I'm wildly inappropriate.
And then again, I suppose that's what makes you unique, even among the Ayakashimori.
I don't really get it, but I guess I'll drop it, just for you. Yeah, I kind of like your perspective.
Good to hear, and thank you.
Hey, you and I are going to do the so-called talking next time. You better not run away. Right back at you. You better brace yourself. I'm going to talk the fuck out of you.
They sound a bit aggressive, but it seems like they're good, so I guess it all ended well? I suppose they got into that heated argument over something so small because they got so much energy pent up inside of them.
And that may be true, but I believe it also came from their personalities. In any case, not needing to forgive, you never cease to amaze me.
I never cease to amaze you. I was being serious there. I think it's harsh to have to lie about your feelings. Sometimes you might have to lie to yourself, but I'm sure both humans and Ayakashi want to be true to themselves as much as possible.
Be true to themselves.
I'm not sure what's on Shiratsuki's mind, but I want him to know what I think too. I hope you can be true to yourself as well, Shiratsuki.
What an odd thing to say. I'm always true to myself.
I doubt that. The way you always smile and speak seems like you're hiding something. Shiratsuki's eyes widened upon hearing my words.
What?
Oh, well, I mean, seeing Shiratsuki in a stupor is making me realize what I'd done. I shouldn't have said that. I probably offended him. Even so, I wanted to know what was really on his mind.
And the way I smile and speak. I never expected you to say that. You truly are interesting.
He's laughing? His gentle expression made it feel like his laughter was coming from the bottom of his heart. Shiratsuki crouched and whispered in my ear.
It's up to you to discover who I truly am.
I can feel his breath tickle my ear. My cheeks grew hotter by the moment. I mean, seriously? Like, get all whisper up in my ear and be sexy, why don't you? What the hell?
Why don't you discover who I really am?
Hi, what? Oh, hi.
Oh, I'm just playing with you.
He's totally making fun of me.
Do your very best, you hear?
That's what, see, and then we always get flustered, but it'd be so funny for her to be like, oh, I intend to. And he's like, what? I'm just playing with you. Oh, but I intend to find out who you really are. And he's like, huh? I just need to flip the fucking page. You know what I mean? We need to flip the script. Sure, I will. He poked fun at me, but I felt like this was the first time Shiratsuki was honest with me. Yeah, he wants you to get to know him.
I want you to unwrap all of my mysteries.
Wink, wink.
You're a strange child, Spacey. You've yet to bore me. I'm being true to yourself. I must admit, I'm surprised she saw that I was hiding something.
And maybe that's it, too. Like, oh, new Ayakashimori. Okay. Oh, they're just like everybody else. They're boring. And that's why he gets bored easily and pawns everything off on Coco. But we keep him on his feet. And he's like, oh, hey. Keep him on his toes. Sorry.
Will this feeling leave if I'm true to myself? If I can be true to myself, then...
There you are, Shiro.
Oh, Coco.
You're alone? Where's Spacey?
She just left. What's the matter?
I heard a couple of Ayakashi were fighting. It seems like the commotion is over, though.
Yes, she did a great job resolving the problem. Quite impressive, I say. And then again, she was quite reckless. At the very least, she has potential.
You seem to be in a daze. You didn't even notice me earlier. Is something going on?
I was merely in thought. Coco, what do you think it means to be true to yourself?
And that's a hard question. Do I have to answer?
It's not that big of a deal. I just wanted to know your thoughts on it.
I think there are pros and cons to being true to yourself. If you speak and act honestly about everything, you could hurt yourself and others.
I see. You may be right.
You do know you were like that, right, Shiro? You do know you were like that, right, Shiro? Okay. I just wanted to make sure I read that right. I'm surprised you brought this up. Have you found someone you could be honest with?
I don't know yet.
I see. Well, it's unusual to see you contemplate such a thing.
Indeed. I'm quite confused myself.
Well, if you can't come to an answer now, you may as well think about it later.
I don't want to do the same as before.
You won't. You know a lot more now, Shiro.
I suppose.
I think that kid there is lost. I'll go and check.
Yes, do that. I won't do it again. Easier said than done.
Ooh. Mysteries of Shiratsky's past. Chapter 4. Something is not right. I was at Takamonomiya to go over the finalization of the event. However, don't you think the event should be something that everyone can join? Why don't we take some ideas related to food and... Like sweet potato baking, mochi, or...
Oh, huh. Oh.
A
food event. Not a bad idea.
I'll check and see if these plans would actually work.
Oh, speaking of food, I heard there are food stalls at events in the real world, and I heard dances are held in the summer.
Yes, there are, but...
I recall there are other dances done outside of festivals at a place called... let me see. I believe it was called...
A place where people gather to dance that has nothing to do with seasons or culture? Prom? A club? Oh, okay. I don't know why prom be. Like a prom or a wedding?
Yes, that's it. I feel like it may be fun if we all dance together in a similar manner.
Oh, then I'll also add that as an idea. You could do a kind of little festival like that where you have like little like sporty kind of events. Like, okay, over here, everybody can play like, you know, tag football or like, you know, can play to like little events, but then there's also like little food stall areas where people can come and like cook together and do stuff, and you can like sign up for what you want to do. Like you make it like a big festival like this, right? It's not just, it's a sporting event. It's like, well, what if they're not interested in doing sporting stuff? So it's like, okay, so you can have like sporty event stuff going on in the mornings or whatever, but then there could also be like cooking competition kind of things going on, and then like, so you could do sports stuff if you want, and then later you could sign up for a cooking thing, and then at night it's like, okay, now we've got all this cool food, and then there's music and everybody can dance and chill out and have fun, like, and that's your relaxation part. Why can't you put it all together? Party Planner 101. Okay. I mean, you know. Had Yakumo given him that information? That aside, something was bothering me. For some reason, I feel like Shiratsky is trying to put distance between us today. Our discussion was moving along well, but something didn't feel right. He didn't look like he was in a bad mood, so perhaps it was just me being anxious. Unless I offended him somehow. What should I do? Ask? I wondered if this was what Sammy and the others meant about members in the past not being able to work very well with him. Maybe it's because of what happened yesterday. I thought things would go well, but now anxiety was just filling my head.
I'm distancing myself because I'm starting to fall in love with you.
Shh. We don't know that. I was done with the day and back in my room, but I still couldn't get Shiratsky out of my mind. Sure, he was smiling, but he just felt off. It's like when I first met him.
Master, you've been groaning all day.
Koya, I let out a deep sigh.
Is something bothering you?
His voice is kind of off, but you get it. It's rumbling out. Koya, what did you think about Shiratsky today? He didn't feel right to me.
I wouldn't know. That fox always puts up a front, so no one knows what he's really thinking. Trying to read him is quite difficult.
Putting up a front? Well, I could tell he was doing that, but I felt so much more distant from him now compared to before. I didn't know what had gotten him to act that way, but I needed to do something about it. Okay, but what? If Shiratsky didn't want to reveal his thoughts, then perhaps what I'd said before was the cause. I was telling him with confidence to be true to himself after seeing him laugh, but we still needed to get this event ready. At this rate, I was going to go down the path the others did, with Coco handling everything. Then again, Shiratsky hadn't dropped anything yet, so maybe I can make things good again. I don't know what he's trying to hide, but I can at least close the gap between us by doing what I did before. After becoming an Ayakashimori, I spoke a number of times with Shiratsky and Coco at Kikutsune. Shiratsky was always friendly and approachable. He even surprised me by saying that he'd be my Shikigami if I wanted. I kept thinking he was simply toying with me. I mean, he was a Shire, and there was no real reason for him to become my Shikigami, and...
What now?
I know! I finally got an answer after thinking about the time I'd spent with him as an Ayakashimori. Tomorrow couldn't come soon enough. Koya looked at me with a frown as he saw me letting out a wide grin.
I don't like it when people are happy. Happiness leads to shenanigans.
I don't know. Proposal. Ooh, proposal. Shinatsuki, will you marry me? I'm just kidding. The next day, I was looking for Shinatsuki. I was here looking for him after learning from Coco that he was out in town. Don't tell me I won't see him today. I found Shinatsuki conversing with a group of Yoko. Yoko? Shinatsuki?
Ah, it's you.
Shinatsuki looked surprised, but in a flash, he let out his usual smile.
You seem to be in a hurry. Did you miss seeing me?
Yes, but anyway. He joked like usual, but something still felt off. I need to find out what happened. We need to talk, Shinatsuki.
What is it?
The Yoko around Shinatsuki were gazing at us with curiosity. I needed to brace myself as what I was going to say could have angered him. Here goes nothing. Is that offer still effective?
That offer?
You offered to be my Shikigami. You've been saying that to me ever since I was hired. I let out a smile amid the murmuring of the Yoko. Shinatsuki's eyes widened as he fixed his eyes on me in disbelief. He begins to speak.
Are you suggesting that I become a Shikigami under your bidding?
I don't want you to serve me. I simply want to take you up on your offer.
Well, and this is a bad joke if I ever heard one.
This is not a joke. I'm dead serious. If he's trying to put distance between us, then I'll come up with a reason for him to stay by me. Just like Seimi and the Chief Shikigami, or like me and Koya, we can spend more time together. If he's trying to distance himself, I will force him to spend more fucking time with me. That's healthy. It's kind of funny, though. I'm sure this is the best way to get to know Shinatsuki better.
Oh.
Shinatsuki stared at me, trying to gauge my intent. Temporary contract. Chapter 5! We're already in Chapter 5. Interesting that it popped to Chapter 5 already.
Tell me, what are you planning to do once I become your Shikigami?
All sorts of shit. Wait, what? Nothing really. Again, I'm simply thinking of taking you up on your offer from before.
You do know I was joking, yes? You even dismissed it as a joke, so why now?
Shinatsuki's looking at me with doubt as he awaits my reply. He's pressing X real hard. The Yoko around us are looking on quietly. It's so that I can get to know you. And you can't avoid me.
What? I beg your pardon?
Being assigned to Kikutsune has given me the opportunity to speak with you. But it hasn't given me the opportunity to know you very well just yet. I felt this would be a good way to communicate with you, especially with the event around the corner.
So this is just for the event?
It's not just for the event.
So there are other reasons?
It's not much of a reason aside from me being selfish so that I can get to know you better, and then you can't avoid me.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
It must be about what you said before.
Sorry, I didn't mean to click so fast. Yeah, okay, that's what he said. You don't need to tell me what you don't want me to know. I just want to talk to you and learn what's on your mind, Shinatsuki.
How selfless. You wish to say that you've never thought about how having me as your Shikigami would benefit you?
Shinatsuki's obviously revealing what's on his mind. Are you implying that if you become my Shikigami, then I'll gain great powers from you, Ninetails? No great power from you, Ninetails? We just threw a nickname at him. Shinatsuki blinks and then drops his shoulders in disappointment.
Well, that was very blunt.
I thought you were implying that I could use your powers for my own personal gain.
Well, yes, that's true. But you would never... No, never mind.
What are you trying to say?
Never mind what I was trying to say. I simply wanted to say you're fine as is.
Sure, I guess. I noticed the tension in Shinatsuki's I think it's supposed to say face, as his expression returns to normal.
You You baffle me with your idea about getting to know me by making me your Shikigami.
If you become my Shikigami, then we'd spend a lot of time together. It's the perfect opportunity for us to get to know one another, right? So once again, will you temporarily become my Shikigami? Excuse me? Shiratsuki's tilting his head in complete confusion. Noticing that no one's making a sound, I get anxious that perhaps I made the wrong move. Wait, this can't be a temporary thing. Oh shoot, I should have studied what getting a Shikigami's all about! My knowledge is based on my training. Koya is my page, he's not my Shikigami. Koya taught me that a page is a messenger of God, and that I'd be blessed and protected. I don't get the messenger of God part, but as I ponder to myself, Shiratsuki's shoulders begin to shake.
You really are an interesting one. You defy my predictions in so many ways. Very interesting indeed.
He's not complimenting me, is he? I don't like being laughed at, but if it takes down Shiratsuki's guard, so be it.
My apologies. I couldn't hold myself back.
Sure, and that's coming from someone trying to fight back their laughter.
A temporary Shikigami. How original. So where did you get that from, and why only temporary?
Consider it a trial run. I'm not brave enough to sign a contract with something I'm not certain about. So during this contract, we can learn about each other, and if you don't like me, then you can terminate the contract.
I can terminate the contract.
The period will be until the event ends. We can discuss again later to see if you'd like to extend it. I made an offer similar to a contract with a freelancer, but I'm not sure he'll bite. So? Oh, no.
So, what you're saying is that after the event, I can terminate the contract then?
Yes, but then I'm not sure whether temporary is even allowed in a Shikigami contract. Shiratsuki goes quiet as if he's pondering about something. Shiratsuki looks straight at me.
Very well.
The yoko around us suddenly let out a cheer.
Yay! Shiratsuki's gonna be a Shikigami for a human! I can't believe I was here when it happened. I need to let everyone know.
Look, that's just other random fucking boys. I don't even know what yoko look like. I'm surprised by all the commotion. Was this something that surprising? I never thought twice about how big of a deal this would be, especially with how he was joking about being my Shikigami.
I doubt anyone's ever had an offer for a temporary contract before. I've no reason to refuse such an interesting offer.
Thank you? So he accepted because it's interesting? I mean, that's basically why he does anything.
When I'm bored, I'll delete the contract. And now then, shall we start this temporary contract you mentioned?
Now?
If not now, then when?
Well, I thought I had to go and check to see if a temporary contract is possible.
Fear not. Although we may be of different types, we all understand how these contracts go. Simply leave everything to me.
Well, I'll leave it in your hands then. Feeling a bit tense, I straightened myself up. I should have done my research before all this. My mind wanders in regret for a while until Shiratsuki cups his hands around my cheeks. Wow, hi, what? He traces my face with his fingers, then lifts my chin up. Are you gonna kiss me? Because I did not know that's how we seal this contract, but way to get me more Shikagamis. He needs to be this close for what he's doing? He's an Ayakashi, but he's still a man. It's hard not to blush in this situation. Like, she's like, he's an Ayakashi, but he's also a man. Yeah, you kind of are into him. I'm the one who asked for the contract, so I can't complain, but this is embarrassing. I try to keep from blushing, but he keeps getting closer to me.
I have to seal it with a kiss.
How sexy.
I, Shiratsuki, accept you as my master, and vow to be your protector for what time remains.
I brace myself for some kind of impact, like a kiss. All that happens is Shiratsuki's smiling. Huh?
Oh, we're done.
What? We're done already? But we didn't do anything.
We did, didn't we? I touched you and then made a verbal vow.
That was it?
It's called Kotodama. A power is forged into words, and then I touch the target and make a vow to complete the rite.
I made it
simple since it's a temporary contract. Our lips would touch if it was official.
Oh, okay, so an official one, we get a kiss. That's interesting. I am just imagining. Now, so Tokiwa, Sammy, all of them just like made out with their shikagamis. I mean, it's just a simple kiss, like a friend kiss. Kiss, kiss. But still, it's, you know, kind of, I'm just saying, it's a little sexy. So that's going to be like, we're going to make our real contract and then make out with Shirotsky at the end. Like, that's going to be our kiss CG probably. Sure. What? Our lips! I quickly move away from Shirotsky. Maybe he's just fucking with us.
It is the most efficient way of transferring my power to you.
I didn't know I had to kiss him. Thank goodness this is just a temporary contract. Really? Because I'm like, damn it. She's like, I have to kiss you if it's permanent. Fuck. Should have made it a permanent one. I let out a sigh of relief, but aren't special seals used for contracts? Maybe kissing is normal to the Ayakashi. You go back to Sammy, you're like, you had to kiss your Shikigami. He's like, what? Maybe it's just how Shirotsky enters a contract. I doubt Sammy or Chief would have kissed their Shikigami into service. Yeah, I mean, that's what's in my head. I'm like, alright. You're like, is that on video that I can watch later? Like, you're lying, aren't you, Shirotsky? Who knows? He's playing with me all right. If you're gonna be my Shikigami, you're gonna have to drop all this teasing.
I suppose you're right. I need to speak the truth to you, yes? Perhaps I should bring this up then.
I knew he wasn't serious then.
The contract is simple, so a handshake would have sufficed. In fact, touching anywhere would have worked.
I would have appreciated a handshake. No, I appreciate the face petting.
I see my master gets embarrassed quite easily.
Please stop. My face was about to blush again just from thinking about what he did to me.
I suppose I've had enough fun with you for now.
Oh. Yeah, let's just stop already. Regardless of what he's doing, I'm glad I formed a contract with Shirotsky. I can tell his smile is a sincere one now.
So, and now that I'm your Shikigami, are you free to command me?
You are, sorry. Ahem.
You're free to command me any way you please.
Well, I like where this is going. I have no intention of commanding you, just how I don't give commands to Koya. A Shikigami's bound to service their master. Wow! A Shikigami's bound to service their master. Phrasing, Jesus. Which means they're also bound to commands.
So, and no commands despite my being your Shikigami. How kind of you, my dear master.
Like I said, stop it already. I won't give commands, but I might ask you for favors.
Oh, what an interesting thought. You're telling me I can make my own choices. What if I don't listen to you at all?
That's fine. I know you wouldn't do such a thing, Shirotsky. I'm sure you'll still try to play with me.
You never cease to amaze me.
I know you're really nice inside, so here's to hoping we get along, Shirotsky. Shirotsky nods gently as I let out a soft chuckle. The end.
A very interesting Ayakashimori indeed. Wow, I still don't believe it! Shirotsky is Shikigami for a human! That actually sounds fun. That new Ayakashimori seems a bit unreliable, but she's pretty cute.
I sure hope this ends well, though. Shirotsky, she might be happy now, but if something happens, you be sure to negate that contract.
I'll make the call if such a thing happens, so there's nothing to worry about. It's rather noisy over here. I'd like to have a bit of quiet right now. What you doing over here? You won't believe it, Shirotsky's a Shikigami! Okay. What? No way! That took a while! But why? Like, really? With who?
You'll have to calm down a bit. He's with that new Ayakashimori now. I have to say it's a weird contract. It's only temporary, and Shiratsky doesn't need to follow orders and can negate the contract at will.
Well, she doesn't seem to be a bad person, but she's still human. I sure hope things go well.
I wouldn't worry.
Let me guess, you don't want him to be a Shikigami because he won't play with you anymore. Don't worry, okay? I'm sure Shiratsky will play with you the same as he always has. Okay.
And now there's a bouncing ball. What's with the bouncing ball? It used to be a flamey foxtail. Now it's a bouncy ball. And I totally missed what the title of that one was because I was distracted by the bouncy ball. Does it tell you anyway? If you go in? Anyway, we were in the new subsection of the chapter, but I missed it because I was like, there's a bouncing ball. What the fuck? It's new. Anyway. I'm back. Oh, hey. Welcome back. Hey! I have a report to make. If it's about Ayakashi fighting, then you could just put them all together in a report. Or don't tell us you've been slacking off during your rounds. She would never do such a thing. Would you? Good point. Anyway, what's up? Sammy looks up from his document and urges me to continue. I signed a Shikigami contract with Shiratsky. Gotcha. Thanks. Got it. Hey, what's for lunch? Are they even listening to me? I kind of felt like they weren't. At the same time, they stop in their tracks. Like, okay, huh? This is what I was hoping for. For them to just be like, Wait, what? Both of them. The fuck did you just say? Huh? Contract with Shiro? Are you serious? Yes, definitely. It's a bit of a special, more temporary contract. You're not joking with us, are you? I might have heard you wrong, but are you serious about what you just said? Yakumo runs up toward me with a binder in hand and a surprised look on his face. Is it that much of a shock? On my part, or Shiratsky's part? The Yoko back there were surprised too. Well, obviously. As far as I know, he's never been anyone's Shikigami before. Even if it's temporary. It's wild that you signed a contract. Oh, really? But he always made jokes that he would be my Shikigami. That's why I felt like it was relatively common. That's just him fooling around with the Ayakashimori. Whenever our guys try and take him up on the offer, they get shot down quick. And those Ayakashimori not only failed to secure Shiratsky as their Shikigami, but also ended up never seeing him again. I suppose you waving away his offer all the time was what kept his interest in you. Speaking of which, I heard from Chief that you once rejected his offer with a smile, Tokitsugu. What the heck, Itsuya? Well, I heard you freaked out and refused too. Well, it's scary! The very sight of a Shirai coming up to you asking to be your Shikigami? I'm not so sure about scary. Felt like an honor. You too. Well, I guess that's true. Then again, I think I was simply oblivious of what it meant for Ninetales to come and offer himself to be a Shikigami. Tokitsugu and my family know how these things work and how powerful Ninetales is, but I guess for those who don't know, it's more of an honor. Yeah, I guess. Regardless, if Shiro's gonna be your Shikigami, you're in luck. Right? Because what it means is that he isn't gonna drop out in the middle of things. I almost forgot about that. The event isn't over yet, so I'd better focus and do my best. I'm not sure whether you can take him to the real world under a temporary contract, and without a Misamaru, so let me check. Thank you. Well, I'm not sure whether this makes sense, but take care of Shiro, will ya? I straightened myself up and nodded in response to his strangely ominous words. Okay. They're like, take care of him. Of course. He's my pet now. I gotta get a leash for him so I can go take him on walkies. What? He's a fox. It's fine. Shiratsky and Coco. I'm out of my rounds in Kikutsune today. Shiratsky's now my Shikigami, but why did he accept in the first place? Because he loves you. He wants you to command him. That's his kink. Sure, maybe it's interesting to him, but I doubt that's enough of a reason. I kept thinking about it over and over again, but I couldn't come to a conclusion. Then again, it's not like I can read what's on Shernotsuki's mind. As I pondered over Shernotsuki's motive, I noticed Shernotsuki and Coco ahead of me. It looks like he's talking with someone. I sort of expected to find him since I was just wandering around Kikutsune now, but I go over to say hi, but something feels off. They don't look very happy. I wonder if there's something wrong. Rather than call out to them, I simply hide around the corner to eavesdrop on their conversation. Girl, snaky.
It is surprising indeed. I never thought I'd become someone's Shikigami.
Well, I was more surprised when I heard it from one of the Kitsune who saw what happened. Seems like they're talking about Shernotsuki's contract with me. I think you made the right choice. It's good to see you finally take a step forward. After all, you really needed to move on from the old man.
Old man? I'm simply keeping memories of him within me. How can I forget my failure in protecting him? It's a sin that I need to bear, so don't ever speak of it lightly again.
So I'm wondering if that sounds like he was a Shikigami in the past, and then he failed to protect someone, so now he says it, and everyone takes him up on they're like, yeah, and then he's like, fuck out. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a weird test. Because, like, he must have made a contract, like, if he made a contract with someone in the past, and then, like, something happened, he's like, it was my job to protect him, you know, blah, 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 as a Shikigami, whatever, and then the guy died. And then he's like, ah! So now every single time a new Ayakashimori comes up, he's like, oh, I'll make a contract with you. You want me to be your Shikigami, huh? Do you? And they're like, yes, you got lots of power. I want it. And he's like, fuck you! And then he, like, pieces out and never talks to them again. It's like a weird fucking test, and we were like, yeah, no.
He's like, interesting. And this is something only I could understand.
I've never seen him this angry before. I could also tell he was filled with remorse. Mind you, it isn't only you. I share this sin as well. I know we shouldn't forget what happened, but that isn't a reason for you to continue living in the past. I sure hope you didn't forget why you came to Sakuratani.
I appreciate your very presence. However,
I just live life as your own. I'm sure your old man won't hold a grudge against you. And then again, it is your choice. But when he says your old man, it's like, oh my god, did you let your dad die? What the hell's happening? Like,
hearing all this from you gives me quite a headache, Coco. Don't you think so too, Spacey?
He called me Shino. He fucked up his line now. Stop calling me the wrong name. It drives me bonkers.
You're there, aren't you? It's not like you're hiding very well.
He knew I was here all along. He could probably hear you breathing. It was pointless to keep hiding, so I came out to talk with Shernotsuki. Hello there. When did you notice I was here?
From the beginning. I'm your Shikigami, remember? I'm sure Coco sensed your presence, too.
I can see how Shernotsuki noticed me around, but Coco also noticing me is a bit embarrassing.
You really are interesting. And the only way you can sneak up on me is to break our contract.
That won't happen yet, but I'm sorry about what I did there. I wasn't planning on eavesdropping.
No apologies are needed. And not that I was trying to hide anything from my dear master.
Thank you. I heard you call me by my name earlier. It almost went by me, but he actually spoke my first name ever so naturally in his conversation.
I am a Shikigami and you're my master. But we're no longer strangers. Was that unpleasant to you?
He's always been calling me Spacey, though. That's weird. Not at all. It was just unexpected, so... And,
Oh, I have a hesitation. You have something to ask, yes?
I let out a weak smile. I guess there's nothing I can hide from you. Don't tell me you can read my mind.
If only my powers were that convenient. Spacey, the only reason why I can read you is because you allow yourself to be so easily read.
I don't like the fact that there's some kind of weird coding in the game that now, if he's gonna keep calling us Shino instead of Spacey, it's gonna, that's... I don't know what the deal is. Because before, everyone was calling us Spacey, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, you used my name. You know what I mean? But, like... And it's not even like they used our last name. They're using her original first name. So it's just really weird what's happening here. And I don't know if it is the translation, but it seems like it's more like a coding bug than the translation coding. You know what I mean? So it's just awkward. That's the one thing that kind of just takes me out of the game when I have to like, wait, no, stop. And I can't, you know what I mean? Don't let me change my name if half the time it's not actually going to be my name that I put in there. Like, I don't know. You think I'm that easy to read? People used to tell me I had a good poker face, but I guess not much so in front of him. I couldn't top an Ayakashi that's lived for ages.
You made me your Shikigami because you wanted to know me better. So let me talk about myself.
That would be great. Shiratsuki's past. Shiratsuki looks into the sky as if he was reminiscing about the past.
I was an ordinary fox living in the mountains.
Interesting.
One day, I saw an aged fox transform. Wanting to be like him, I followed him down the mountain.
So you used to actually just be a fox. Interesting. So like we could put you... Is that why you wear the collar? It's a choker. It looks like a collar. I should put you on a leash.
However, it turned out that I could not transform, despite being quite along in age myself. So I left the aged fox and wandered the realm to learn transformation, and became an Ayakashi.
I looked at Shiratsuki as he speaks nonchalantly. It's kind of interesting that you used to actually just be a fox. Not like, oh, I've always been an Ayakashi. It's like you were born a fox, like just a normal... Bird? Don't you transform into an Ayakashi. That's weird.
It was around then that I learned of a higher existence known as the Tenko. I decided to visit an Onmyoji to see how I could become one.
An Onmyoji?
It was the fastest way of learning. After all, they knew much more about Ayakashi than we did.
That's quite brave. You could have been exorcised if things went wrong.
Under normal circumstances, yes. But he was quite an unusual character.
So he was your previous master?
Indeed. And that old man told me to come and see him if I was bored. And not that it made any sense since I spent my time trying to be a Tenko.
Shiratsuki grumbles with a hint of kindness. I suppose his master was very nice. At the very least, I could tell from the tone of his voice.
I soon became his Shikigami and trained under his guidance to finally become the grand and mighty Ninetails.
Shiratsuki boasted with a puff of pride, but suddenly his expression became sullen. Yeah, okay.
But I stood out like a sore thumb. I became too powerful to be a Shikigami for an old Onmyoji like him.
Shiratsuki calmly spoke with a hint of bitterness.
Many were jealous of the old man's pact with me, and they soon brought undue fate upon him. And they captured me to become their Shikigami for their ambitions of power within the palace.
That's horrible. And and there you go. Everyone was like trying to catch his power. So when he's like, oh, let's make a contract, and they're like, okay, he's like, don't trust, and then disappears and never speaks to them again. He's got trust issues, this boy. Aww, pet him, Spacey, pet him a little.
All the Onmyoji within the old man's faction were murdered, just as he was.
Horrible.
I couldn't protect him. I couldn't stop his death.
His smiles and manner of speaking began to make sense to me.
I couldn't do anything while under their bidding. If I could, I would have stopped the murders. But before he took his last breath, the old man made me promise to never take revenge. Since then, I've kept his promise and found a way to leave the area without reaping a soul. And that was my way of showing him respect. I was alone again. I spent my days away from all existences, both mortal and Ayakashi. I spent that time to think about my life. I reflected on what I'd been doing, and found out that I'd actually been living life the way I wanted to. I abandoned my parents and siblings. I went after the aged fox, and knowing my goal could not be accomplished, I left him. I finally realized that what I've been doing is cutting away those who are of no use to me. If only I had realized that sooner.
You're not that mean. That came out of me naturally. My instincts made me speak, as I couldn't bear to watch him chuckle in self-contempt and sorrow. What you went through and realized may be harsh, but everything you went through made you who you are now, Shiratsky. You're very kind, Shiratsky. I'm sure that comes from the fact that you know how pain feels, and I'm not sure what else I can say to him now. What you went through had meaning, so please don't look down on yourself and continue regretting what happened in the past. I want to see you smile. Shiratsky scratches his head and smiles. Well, there you go.
Look at you.
Huh?
What I spoke about happened ages ago. And yet, here you stand before me, looking as if you might cry.
You truly are kind, Spacey. Now he's always going to fuck up my name. God damn it, game. Get your coding right. It angers me. Shiratsky.
Not to worry. I'm blessed with a wonderful place to live and great friends. I also have a wonderful master now, too. And all thanks to Coco. Perhaps I may have fallen to evil if I stayed in the real world while drowned in memories. Coco's been inviting stray Ayakashi in the real world to live in Sakuratani, and he extended that invitation to me as well.
I see.
I truly am in debt to Coco.
What a sad story. He lost his master because of humans, which led to him thinking that they'd only approach him to abuse his power. Right? Makes sense now. That would explain why Shiratsky's so doubtful of humans. I'm so sorry, Shiratsky. It was insensitive of me to accept your offer without understanding what you went through. Sorry I made you recall such painful memories.
Oh, I apologize. It's merely a story that since ended ages ago. All's well now.
He gently places his hand on my head. He strokes my hair as if consoling a young child. I'm not a kid.
So you prefer to be treated like a fine woman?
Please, I'm not in the mood to be teased.
Very good. Your brashness is well needed and appreciated.
He's trying to cheer me up. To think Shiratsky is the one who's in pain.
I appreciate what you've done. As Coco mentioned, I'm sure this is a good opportunity for me to embrace change. Perhaps I should look toward my future now.
I see. So Shiratsky is staking his future on me as his master. Also, he can sever his ties with his past. No matter what happens, I'll be on your side and protect you, Shiratsky.
Protect me? And that should be my role.
It's just my responsibility as your master.
Then I, too, shall fulfill my responsibility as a Shikigami. I vow to protect you.
How sweet.
I no longer want to be left behind.
I won't leave you, so don't you worry, okay? I gave a smile from the bottom of my heart. Oh, there's the bouncy ball! Bouncy ball, bouncy ball, and this is the perfect place. Catching a cold. Oh no. Anyway, we're going to wrap this part up here, and we will continue Shiratsky's route next time. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.